Hi soulmates, and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be drafting the pattern for this beautiful dress that you see on the screen, and for that I'll be using 2 yards of Ankara fabric and this other crepe fabric for the sleeve and all that. So without wasting time, let's go straight ahead into the drafting. So I went ahead to rule a straight line for this line is my shoulder line, so I'm just going to it's my start line, so I'm just going to rule that because I want everything to look neat and all. So from there I'll be taking all my vertical measurements, which is from my shoulder to bust point to waist. Okay, so the illustrations I'll be giving on the screen. So from my shoulder to my bust point is 11 inches, which I've gone to mark, and then to my waist point, which is 17 inches. You can see them on the screen. And then from my waistline to my hip is from my shoulder to my hip is 26, and then the hemline. Now the pattern paper was not enough, so when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'm going to go on and add all the length that I want. Then I went to take my shoulder measurement of 8 inches. The full length is 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches, so I went ahead to mark that. And then I took my neck width of 3 inches. Now I'm cutting both back and front together because there will be no zipper allowance for the dress. Now we're adding the zipper to the front, but there will be no zipper allowance. So now I went ahead to take my back depth of 1 inch, so 3 by 1 inch for the back neck width and neck depth. And then I just went ahead to straighten that out to blend it in. Then I went ahead to take my front neck depth of 3 inches, and I went ahead to use my curve rule to connect all of those points together. Then next I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope from the 8-inch shoulder measurement that I took earlier, and then I'm going to connect that into my neckline like so. Next I'm going to go ahead and mark out all my measurements that I took, all my vertical measurements that I took earlier. I forgot to rule them out, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark those lines out for you to see. Now on this pattern we didn't take under bust measurement because this is a basic bodice and we don't need that, so I went ahead to rule and then straight from the waistline to my hip line like you see me doing. Next I am going to get my chest point, and to do that I divided my bust span measurement by 6, and then I added 1.5 inch, which gave me 8 inches. So I went ahead to roll that out as well. So this new line is my chest line, and I'm going to go ahead and label all the points. So my chest line, my bust line, my waistline, the hip, and the full length. So next the measurement that I took on the shoulder, my shoulder measurement, I also took it on the chest line because I want to rule a straight line from that shoulder slope point that we marked earlier, and straight I'm going to rule a straight line down to the chest line. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to get our armhole curve, so we're just going to rule that like so. Then we're going to place the measurement from that point down to the chest line to get the midpoint. For me it's 4 inches, so from that point we're going to come in by half an inch point like so, and you're going to just mark it out. And from there, now the next thing is we're going to mark my bust span measurement of mine is 38 inches, so we're just going to go 38 inches divided by 4, it's 9.5, and then going to go and then connect all the points together like so to get our armhole curve. Now first I used my free hand and it was not very neat, so I went ahead to use my curve rule and curve it out like this. Next we're going to take our nipple to nipple measurement, and to do that the illustration is on the screen. Mine is 4 inches, mine is 8 inches, and divided by 2 is 4 inches, so I went ahead to rule that on the bust point, on the waistline, and on the hip line, and then I went ahead to connect all into a straight line as you see me doing. Now on the waistline, we are going to take our dart intake, so we are going to go out 1/2 inch on both sides of the middle line. We're going to go out by 1/2 inch on both sides, and then on the bust point we're going to come down by 1 inch, because I don't want the dart to be sitting on the nipple so directly. So we're going to come down by 1 inch, and on the hip line as well we're going to go up by 4 inches because I don't want it to be too long. So we're going to go up by 4 inches on this point, and then what we're going to do is we're going to connect all these lines together to get our dart for the dress. So just follow properly as you see me do. Just connect the lines together from the bust point to the hip point, from the bust point to the waist, first of all, and then we're going to go, and from that point we're going to connect to the 4 inches point that we came up by, and we're just going to use our straight rule and connect all the lines nice and neatly as you see me doing. Okay, now it's looking neat and clean. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our body measurements, and I've already done on the chest line. I'm just going to bring it down, same thing to the bust line. Next we're taking our waist measurement as you see on the screen. Mine is 9 inches 34. The full is 34, so divided by 4 is 9 inches. So I'm just going to go and rule that out. I think 36 inches, sorry. So I'm just going to go and then replace the dart intake that we took earlier so we don't run short after we taken the dart. Next is the hip measurement. Mine is 44, and 44 divided by 4 it's 11 inches, so I went ahead to mark that out on the line as well. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out 2 inches from our hip measurement and transfer it to the hem line, just as you see me doing on the screen. So we're just going to mark that out neatly, and then we're going to connect all those points with our straight rule as you see me do. So we're just going to connect these lines out like this. From the waistline we're going to connect to the hip point like so. And from this point we're going to connect all the way down to the hem line of the dress. Now remember I said the hem line was not long, the pattern paper was not long enough, so while I'm cutting on my fabric I'm going to add all of it, and then I went ahead to just blend in the edges as you see me doing like so. I'm just blending out all the sharp edges and all that. So next we're going to go ahead now and cut out the pattern paper. Now first we're going to cut out the neck, the back neck depth, and after that we will cut out the front. After we cut on the fabric, then we're going to go back and then cut on the front. So I'm just trimming, and then after I trimmed that I realized that we did not add any seam allowance, so I went ahead to take 1 inch seam allowance. The reason I took out just 1 inch is because the pattern paper on the hip area was not going to be enough, but when I'm cutting on my actual fabric I'm going to increase it to 1.5 inches. So I just went ahead to add 1 inch seam allowance to all my points, and then I'm going to connect from the hemline. I'm going to connect to the hip, and from the hip to the waist. From the waist I'm going to connect it to the chest line like you see me doing on the screen. So just connect everything nicely and roll it out, and then afterwards we are going to cut it all out nice and smooth like so. So after we've done this, the pattern is ready. So this is your basic bodice pattern. You can use this if you're making a normal basic bodice gown, simple gown. So I went ahead to cut out all the excess like so, and then our pattern is ready. Now we're not cutting out the dart because we're going to transfer it to the main fabric and stitch it down. So if you love this video, please give us a thumbs up, and without wasting time, let's get to the next video where we'll be making the full dress. Please subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get to the next one.